an hour and 15 minutes into it.
So 240.
244.
Okay. So at 1:27, let's just say, I went out. It was around that time I went outside, and I'm assuming this is the time where the thing is approaching the thing. The moon's approaching or the sun is approaching, whatever the case may be. I just want to see that because, to my understanding, that wasn't dangerous. But I go outside, I look up, it's overcast, first of all. So I'm walking circles around my yard, trying just to find the sun.
Just trying to find the sun.
Wait a second. I saw it yesterday. It was out here yesterday. I know the sun was out here. My wife walks out. What are you doing? You're going to burn your eyes out. You're going to be blind. You're already a highly functioning human being that I have to take care of.
Right.
I don't need a blind on my hands.
The media did a great job of scaring the shit out of everybody. That if you didn't have these glasses, which there was a shortage of, by the way.
Oh, you don't say.
Then you're going to go blind.
Yeah.
So and there were even people saying, "Oh, should I? My son has football practice outside. Should we have them cancel football practice?"
Well, the reflection off his helmet, burn my goddamn rods and cones.
How about this? I know that your son, is probably, a lineman, so I don't know how bright he is. As a football player.
Pump the brakes. I was a lineman.
I rest my case.
There you go.
So I'll tell you what. Why don't you tell, Junior Seau Jr. there.
He was a linebacker, but okay.
To just not look at the fucking sun.
Max Montoya would have been better.
If he's playing football, he probably has some sort of smarts. He's probably a little bit older. Just grab him by the helmet.
Yeah.
Like Woody Hayes grabbing a football player and say, "Hey, genius, don't look at the sun. Practice is still going to go on. You still got to work hard. Just don't look at the sun."
Your football references just melted people's brains.
I know. I'm good.
What did you have? Woody Hayes and Junior Seau?
Yeah.
And Woody Hayes only came to mind because you're from Cleveland.
I'm from Ohio.
Oh, you're from Ohio. So Woody Hayes is like, it's Jesus Christ, Woody Hayes, and then on down.
Exactly.
And then LeBron James, and then not LeBron James, and then LeBron James again.
Right. So I love the fact that that people wanted to see the eclipse. I'm grateful that it was there. But once again, people fucking ruin everything. Everything. Groups of people ruin everything.
That's why I always tell my wife, I want to go out. I want to see people. I want to be around people. I want to understand people. And I'm like, have you turned on the news? Anytime 20 or more people gather in a group, someone fucks it up for everyone.
Right.
And sometimes an entire country is in mourning for days.
At the very least, you end up having a bad time.
Or disappointing.
At the very worst.
At the least, yeah.
At the very worst, someone dies.
Tragedy.
There's tragedy of some sort. Whenever there's big groups of people, it sucks.
People are idiots. So with all that, after my wife yelled at me that I was going to go blind and that she was going to have to care for me and I don't know how blind people wipe their ass, but I'm assuming I could figure it out. I could find my back and work my way down.
Because you can put food in your mouth if your eyes are closed,
she made me feel like I have to do everything now, and you're going to go blind today.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going inside. I'm going to sit down, and I'm just going to enjoy the fact that the lights go out on the earth. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So I sat in there, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And you know what it did? Nothing.
No.
It stayed sunny and bright all day long.
The entire time.
The line of bullshit that they gave us about the darkness coming.
Well, that happened in some parts of the country.
The Midwest where the band was, where all the people went, and then it was overcast and raining.
Exactly.
And they can't see it.
No. Oregon, where it first started, looked perfect.
Okay.
There were other parts throughout the country that the news went to and said, wow, and it looked spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
It looked just like the way it should, just not in Connecticut.
My wife is so much smarter than me. She goes, don't even get involved with this. Just Google it the next day. And she goes, wait a minute, idiot. Google it now. They have captured footage of the previous one.
Well, there were websites that NASA had it live as it was happening.
And there you go.
And that's what I watched.
She's smarter than
I watched NASA live as it happened.
And you didn't go blind?
No, not from that.
DOS. Disk Operating System.
DOS. Here's number 2.
All right, so Austin Rogers was his name.
By the way, just before you go any further, do you know that there's like this whole underground cult that does nothing but watch Jeopardy every night? People are obsessed with this game show.
So let's start with Jeopardy then.
Okay.
I'll start there. I love where your head's at.
Right.
Okay. I like Jeopardy.
I do too.
I don't love Jeopardy.
I don't watch Jeopardy in the summertime because the Yankees game starts at 7.
Okay.
And that's when Jeopardy is on.
All right, cool.
So Jeopardy is purely a winter watching thing. You only watch it in the wintertime.
Fair enough what you just said. Fair.
So we like it, but we don't love it.
Here's how I would love it.
Okay.
Final Jeopardy is A, impossible. B, it's stupid that it's one question. You don't feel like you can participate.
Right.
I feel like it should be more of Double Jeopardy. Like just another round of Double Jeopardy, which you call Triple Jeopardy.
Right.
Or Final Jeopardy. Still, you call it that, but it's still more awesome and mass appeal.
No, I like Final Jeopardy because it sounds like the game is ending.
No.
And I'm a gambler. I like the idea of it all coming down to one answer.
No.
I like that.
No, you're wrong. And I have 2 more things. You could make Jeopardy a full hour and it would be more entertaining. More questions. I want more questions. I want more time to play along.
How many? No, the idea is that it's quick. You got to have the answers at the tip of your tongue.
Disagree. So in a given half hour, I get a lot of questions right, but I feel like I want to feel more good about myself by getting more questions right, and you could do that in a full hour.
What is you're wrong?
The other part of the plan is to not just replace Alex Trebek, but to do it in such a way that the new host of the show comes out and beats him with a baseball bat. Not until he's dead.
Right.
But he's most certainly not coming back anytime soon. I hate him so much that that's how
What's
I'd like
to hate?
see
He just
him,
reads the questions.
because he does it in the most condescending, douchey way, as if he knew the answer, which he does
because it's right there in front of him. Right.
But don't you understand like that?
He doesn't bother me.
Why?
He doesn't bother me.
He bothers me.
I think if I was the host of that show and I would be very good at it,
of course,
I think I would
You're
be
a great
the same
host.
way. I think I would be slightly condescending as well. Because how dare these people come in into my studio in front of my questions and try to tell me what the right answer is?
The worst is when he corrects someone's pronunciation of like a French word.
It's
or something.
menage a trois.
Menage a trois.
Not menage a trois.
Yeah.
Right.
So there you go. So where did you start on Jeopardy?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I think I could beat you in Jeopardy.
No, I don't think so.
I think I could. I think.
No.
I think that we need to have a date night,
a whole episode
where we watch Jeopardy, and I beat you.
No, we have an independent third party put together a an entire Jeopardy competition for us, and come on the podcast here.
I agree.
Full host.
I agree.
And we compete.
And I think I beat you.
Lose.
I think I beat you. I think I beat you every time. I think I beat you 2 out of 3 times.
You're a loser.
No, I think I just beat you. You know what? I beat you before we even fucking started doing this podcast. I was already a winner.
All right. Whatever, man.
Anyway.
So Austin Rogers was the new, and this happens all the time.
Is this the guy that's the current champion?
He just lost.
Is he the guy with the beard from Connecticut? Is that
I think
him?
Yeah. I don't know if he's from Connecticut or New York.
Because I haven't watched it. As I said, it's summertime now, and it's the fall, and the Yankees are on every night at 7.
Well, whenever there's a current guy on a streak, he becomes a big deal. Who was the guy like 8 years ago, the nerd that was on, like broke the record?
Yeah.
Ken something?
Ken Jeopardy.
Yeah, and he was even snarkier than Trebek. Like he's like, guess what? I got a butt shit answers. I got all.
But
these
he's
answers.
allowed to be.
Yeah, why?
Because he knew everything.
But anyway, this was the new Ken whatever the fuck, and his name was Austin Rogers. And it turns out one of my listeners on the radio show, who also is a big fan of the Smith and Milano podcast, this show,
nice.
Went to high school.
We finally found him.
Yeah. He went to high school with this guy.
Okay.
So he's like, you got to watch.
And did people hate him in high school, or did they like him? Because we need to get the dirt.
I didn't care enough to ask those questions.
No, I want to know, because the people that are in Jeopardy, I think, are people that aren't necessarily popular in school. Because they're nerdy, right?
I don't know. Who knows? I guess nerds are supposed to be the popular ones.
I mean, I wasn't really a nerd in school. I was. You
were a theater geek.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Different kind of geek.
Yeah, people just didn't like me.
You have your own clique.
That's
people
right.
loved you within the theater community.
Exactly.
So you didn't give a shit about anybody else.
Not at all.
there were geeks who were just geeks and alone, and that was, in hindsight, very sad for them, and I feel bad.
Very sad.
So maybe that guy, you're getting it, maybe he was one of those. I have no idea. But I do know that I trust the suggestions of the person that said, hey, go check this guy out.
Right. And you watched it?
And I watched, and I thought, that guy really fucking did me wrong for the first time. He led me in the wrong direction. What do I care? He only cared about him because he went to high school with him. He was a little quirky, but not enough to make me sit
and
through
watch
it
every night.
Right. Or follow.
And meanwhile, you've missed the first 2 innings of the Yankees game.
Correct. That's true.
So in hindsight, this is what we're going to say. We should watch Jeopardy only in the wintertime.
Round 1 and 2 only.
Right.
No final.
And I am going to kick your ass when we do Jeopardy.
You're not.
No, you're going down.
What are the other, while we're on the subject, because I just spent 10 minutes telling you how I didn't give a shit about this guy, and we could have really skipped over this altogether. Right. What are the other best game shows, in your opinion?
Game shows?
Yeah.
I always like Jeopardy. I thought that was good. I always like games like To Tell the Truth.
Okay.
I like that. I like when people are lying. I like that with Bill Cullen.
You're old.
To Tell the Truth.
Yeah.
I really liked. What was the one that Groucho hosted back in the 50s?
I was going to say Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and The Price is Right.
I worked on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Which one?
The daytime version with Meredith Vieira.
I love her.
She's the nicest person in the world.
Is she nice?
She's a sweetheart. I love her.
Get this whiff of sexual, like this wild.
She's very sexy.
Sexual.
She's very sexy.
Like she is an animal, but it's right beneath this thin
and she's
veneer
also,
of
but she's also fun to hang out with too. I've been to events, and this was 15 years ago. I worked with her.
Did you bang her?
And no, I did not bang her.
You should have banged her.
No, I did not bang Meredith Vieira.
Next time you see her, can you bang her?
No, I did not bang her. Ever.
Look how professional you got right there. You're like, oh, no, wait a second. I know her. Now be nice.
If I had banged her, I would have told you that I banged her.
She works for ABC Corporation, and so do I. She's a nice lady.
We would meet for lunch in the commissary. No, we wouldn't even do that.
Right.
I never banged.
Hand job?
So not even a hand job.
She didn't give you a hand job, huh?
No, not ever.
It's very disappointing. You understand?
You know what? It is disappointing.
For all your stories, like you told me about how you were, banging Australian drifters, but you can't get a hand job from Meredith Vieira.
Well, to be fair,
I mean, be a man up and get a hand job from Meredith.
To be fair, Australian drifters are a lot easier to get.
Yeah, I know,
than hosts of TV shows.
But you were bragging about it, like you're picking off sex zombies in Brooklyn, and I just wanted to hear a Meredith Vieira hand job story.
No, her hand was nowhere near me ever.
Okay, how long did you do the warm up on that show?
I only did it for a few weeks,
and she did not only a few. Oh, you were like a fill-in at the time?
I was a fill-in at the time.
During your stretch there with Meredith Vieira, she did not give you a hand job.
No,
but how many hand jobs did she give?
It's hard to say. All I know was that I wasn't in that line.
I just feel like she's a giver. I feel like she sees somebody having a down day.
She's happily married. I don't know if you're aware.
Mondays, and then she just gets at it.
Yeah, because that's all TV shows are. Matter of fact, at the show I work on, since then, every show that I've worked on since then, I refuse to start my warm-up until I get a hand job.
You're warmed up.
That's right. I'm like, listen, I'm running late. Who's giving me the hand job today? That's the dirty little secret of TV.
I think we know what we're naming this episode.
1, 2, 3.
Here's number 3.
This is from Cosmopolitan magazine.
Oh, is that still around?
I have a subscription.
That's still around.
Sure thing.
Wow. Wait, I'm going to take a guess. Is this about orgasms?
It is about orgasms.
See, I knew it because that's the only story. It's fashion and orgasms in Cosmopolitan.
That's all they got. And I will read it word for word, at least the first paragraph. It's not enough that men are already having more orgasms than women.
We are?
I guess.
Someone owes me.
To make matters worse, a new study published in the Journal of Sex Research found, aside from deriving pleasure from their own orgasms, obviously, men also derive a specific sort of masculine pleasure from making female partners orgasm. That's true.
Okay, yeah.
Researchers in the study, Sarah Chadwick and Sari Van Anders, refer to this incredibly predictable phenomenon as a masculinity achievement. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I imagine a masculinity achievement looks something like Super Mario punching a coin out of one of those floating boxes in the video game. Let me stop here because I know where this is going.
Okay.
We're going to shit on men for the next, I don't know, 670 words?
Because for some reason, everything we do is selfish.
Selfish.
You know, we can want to please a woman.
Bullish.
And want
annoying.
to get her off, but that's a bad thing.
Right.
Because somehow it's just satisfying our own egos.
Yeah, that you nailed it.
Yep.
We don't have to read any more.